Buff Nation, what up? BWB, what's going on? Welcome to TLP Sports Club. I am your host, Harry Billion, guys. This is Free for All Fridays. It is December the 6th. It's 11 a.m. on the East Coast. It's time for us to talk Colorado football as well as football in general, college football. There's a lot going on. The portals are going to be portaling. There's a lot going on. Today, though, I want to do something a little different. I want to take an angle that is unpopular because I'm pretty much the guy that does that. I want to take an angle that's a little bit unpopular, and I want to explore it. I want to ask a question to the American public. I want to ask a question to you who's listening and who's watching. And thank you for being here, though. I appreciate you. I want to talk about Travis Hunter and his relationship and what it's teaching us. There's a lot that it's teaching us, but I wonder if people are picking up what it's putting down, the relationship. I don't think people are picking up what it's putting down. I would like to explore that today. Just to let you know, early signing day has come and passed. Coach Prime signed a few players. You all know that Juju Lewis, the heir apparent to Colorado's Shador Sanders, is signed to Colorado. We got players that are coming. QB Julian Lewis. Let's just do this real quick because I want to get into this Travis Hunter relationship thing. I was going to leave it alone, but I got an epiphany, and I say, you know what? It's a custom. We're going to talk about Travis Hunter's relationship, and we got to deal with it in a way. Guys, this is a call-in show right there on your screen, right at the top. You'll see join TLP Live at gmail.com. Join TLP Live at gmail.com. That is the email. My Cash App is also at the bottom where it says Cash App, the $ TLP Sports Club, Tango Larry Peter Sports Club. All right. For those of you who want to be generous, guys, this show, the live show, is 2 days a week. It is on Tuesdays currently, and it's on Fridays like today, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am going to be adding a Monday show, however. So I believe we're going to do Monday, Tuesdays, and then we're going to do Fridays. Take a couple of days break, you know. So, and I just want to let you know that this is going to be more of a podcast. I'm turning this in more of a podcast show where I'm going to be discussing topics in the off season. And then, of course, you know, when the season comes back, then we do a lot more football. But in the off season, it's not a lot of football going on. So you're going to get a lot of stats and different things that's moving, the moving pieces, what's happening in the portal, is the portaling, things like that we're going to talk about. But there's going to be topics that we talk about here, podcast style. So there's a panel. Join TLP Live at gmail.com. Guys, do me a favor. If this is your first time here or you've been here around here, click that like button for me. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, I will appreciate it. And I think we just hit 13,500. If I'm not mistaken, I think I saw 13,500. We finally did 13,500. 501. I was like, man, how long is it going to take for us to hit 13,500? It was just like, subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe, unsubscribe. I'm like, dang, man, help a brother out. I'm only a black African trying to do my thought thizzle. God dang, help me out, please. Woo. Anyways, it's a hard not life for me. It's a hard not life for me. Instead of treated, I get tricked. Instead of kisses, I get unsubscriptions. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's on your screen. Join TLP Live. Join TLP Live at gmail.com. Write that down because I got to take it off the screen, guys. My Cash App is also down there for those of you who want to be generous. Guys, I will appreciate the Cash App. You know what I'm saying? $5 here. It's Christmas season. $5 here, $10 there, $1 there. You know, I don't think you can do $1 because then you got to pay tax on a dollar. All right. Join TLP Live at gmail.com is the email. You email me, I send you a link. You come onto the show. We talk. We discuss Travis Hunter's relationship. We talk about Coach Prime's relationship. And then we get up out of here. We go out our separate ways. And you go thinking, I go thinking. That's just how it works around here. So you write it down. I got to take it off the screen. Okay, let's go. I got to go. Let's do this. First, let's just talk about the signees, the people that have signed, okay? Colorado's high school football signees for 2025. The recruits who enrolled at Colorado in January will be able to practice with the team before the Buffaloes play in a bowl game. These are the recruits the university confirmed as signed on Wednesday, the first day of early signing period, which runs through Friday. That will be today, guys. Here they are, guys. I wanted to do this information at the top of the show. I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty right away. I want to give you some information because this is a sports show. We deal with data here, guys. We deal with a lot of data here. All my data warriors, say what's up. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a fire emoji in the chat. You know what I'm saying? QB Julia Lewis, Carrollton, Georgia. Offensive tackle Cardi, or is it Cardi? Cardi Smith, Malbal, Alabama. There's no black people in Alabama. Are y'all crazy? Oh, offensive guard Chauncey Gooden, Nashville, Tennessee. Get a rope. Offensive tackle Jay Gardenhire, West Bloomfield, Michigan. Wide receiver Quentin Gibson, Fort Worth, Texas. I've been to Fort Worth. It's nice over there. Small town. It's wide open. I've been to TCU. Hey, do y'all want me to drop that TCU video when the kids were like, Deion Sanders is not a good coach and he can't do this? Y'all want me to drop that? I'll never drop that TCU video on the streets. Me on the streets of Fort Worth. Y'all want me to drop? If y'all want me to drop that video, let me get some fire emojis, either during the live show or after the live show. In the comments, drop some fire emojis. Say, look, Harry B, drop it. Let's see what they had to say. Even now that Coach Prime is 9-3. All right, and we got wide receiver Adrian Wilson. What does that say? Fluggerville, Texas. Fluggerville, Texas. Like when somebody gets beat, like you get flugged. Pflugerville. Oh, my public school education is coming through. Wide receiver Quinnell Farrakhan Jr. Okay, we've seen this name before. Houston, Texas. Yo, we in the West, bro. I'll tell you. All right, we got tight end Zane the Souza, Loveland, Colorado. Okay, we got a Colorado native. That's what's up. The Souza. Tight end Corbin Leisure, Johnson City, Tennessee. Defensive end London Merritt, Bradenton, Florida. Sorry. Defensive tackle Alexander McPherson, Bradenton, Florida. Okay, a couple of Bradenton guys. I see you. Defensive line Christian Hudson, Daytona Beach, Florida. Linebacker Mantrez Walker. I've seen this name before. Beaufort, Georgia. Mantrez Walker. Was he here before? Excuse me. Safety TJ Branch, Miami, Florida. Coach Brown got a couple of his Florida guys in there. Mixed in there with the Mobile, Alabama. Pflugerville. Oh, thank you, V.I. Bourne. Pflugerville. I'll just say, dang. Pflugerville. Thank you. All right, so that is the early signing day. those are the guys that you're going to be hoping they all stay and they all play for Colorado. And yeah, because we don't we know that there's portal and people changing their minds and stuff like that. And if anybody want to test my gangster, Juju Lewis changed his mind. Let that sit with you. He was with USC, changed his mind, and we got him now. So these are the guys that we're hoping are going to stay and play for us, because these kids sometimes they don't know what they want. Okay, so we just hope. We're going to sit and hope. But here we go, guys. Let me set this up this way. Let's have this conversation. We're going to talk about football. Yeah, football is in there. But there's a conversation that's going on outside of the football field. Colorado's player, Travis Hunter, the Heisman hopeful, I can't play the video because it was from the network. So I don't want to give my little 2 cents that YouTube sends me, that Google sends me every month. They're going to take it away if I get another copyright strike. I'm always getting these things now. Anyways, I'm only trying to help the fans here. Hello, YouTube. Get with the program. You can't have it both ways, YouTube. You want us to entertain? Are you entertained? You want us to entertain the fans so you can stay in business, but then you want to copyright flag us so you don't get out of business. I think that kind of works. You got a point there, YouTube. I get it. Okay, I get it. All right, do your thing, YouTube. Oh, it's black business. So Travis Hunter, at the end of the game, one of these games, I forget which one. I think it was the last game. Travis Hunter goes to try to give his girl a hug. Within the attempt of the hug, his girl does the thing that women sometimes do when they're not 1,000% happy with you. They'll be like, "Oh, now you want to kiss me, right? Now you want what? Get off of me! Get off me! I know what you did last summer." You know what I'm saying? What? Get off me! So she did one of them things. She did one of the get off me situations, right? So we all peeped that. We all saw it live if you watch the game. I saw it. I was like, what is that? When you see things, you're kind of like, I don't know if it's shock or not. We saw it. Okay? If you didn't see it, it happened. I can't really show you, but it happened. Because everybody's talking about it. If you are familiar with Colorado content, you know that it happened because everybody talked about it already. And I try to take the high road. I don't know why I do. Because everybody else gets views while I'm sitting here thinking like, oh man, I don't want to do that because everybody's doing it. The heck with it. Okay. If Donald Trump can pardon and Biden can pardon, we all gonna get dirty. We all gonna start riding dirty, okay? Stop playing with me. It's funny. I just had a live on my other channel talking about that pardon. It's called the Billionaire's Mindset. So you can go on the Billionaire's Mindset. Let me put it on here so you can get it. The Billionaire's Mindset. So you can see it. You can go to the Billionaire's Mindset. You can see that live. Oh boy. I don't know why people are so surprised. Like, why are you surprised? Anyways, so weird. One person can be dirty, but the other person, no, you gotta stay clean because we need at least one person to be clean. Don't do what he does. We love him. We need you to be the adult in the room. It's like, no. If I leave my son with Trump, you think he gonna treat him right? He ain't gonna treat him right. So, pardon. Let's go. Anyway. All right, so Travis Hunter went for the kiss, got rejected, and it became a firestorm in the media. So now everybody is talking about prenuptial, right, Curtis Duff? Everybody's talking about prenuptial. Everybody's talking about yada, yada, yada. I think Nate Robinson tweeted something that went viral. I think he said, bro, let her go. All in all, there's a conversation that we're not having. With all the videos that I've watched, I said, why isn't anybody talking about this? It's weird. Why is it that we don't talk about this? It's very weird. And if anybody did talk about it and I didn't see that video, then please forgive me. But what about her? Why isn't anybody talking about her? Does she count? Does her feelings count? None of us know what happened. None of us have the premise. Nobody knows. But we are siding with Travis Hunter. So what about her? Why isn't anybody talking about her feelings and her part in the relationship? You see the cash cow. You see the cow walking around with his little spots on him. That's Travis Hunter. He's walking around. He's the cash cow. Let's rewind the story and get back to its origin to understand why she's important. See, the thing about our society and how we are as human beings, we love to worship idols. We love to worship idols. What if Travis Hunter didn't play out? Where was this girl before Travis Hunter? Where was she before Travis Hunter? Where is their relationship? See, the thing that you're missing something very, very vital, very important. And please hear me out. Your minds are already made up. I get it. I understand it. It is mine as a thought provoker, as an influencer. It is my position to have you think a little bit differently and to invoke thoughts that you may not have been thinking about. For this situation, I want to provoke you to think about her. And let me do this. Let me help you out. There are single mothers in America. There are single mothers all around. There are women that have stood behind men when they were nothing and has helped them to become something. In the wee hours, in the darkness, behind the scenes, the things that you are not privy to. Lots of things that you're not privy to, things that you don't know. People's emotions, a human being, when he or she is developing and coming up, they need people around them. Nobody becomes who they are without anyone. This channel isn't this channel without you. God bless me. One day I get big, I get all the subscriptions, and now I'm having conversations that everybody's listening to. People are quoting me now. TLP Sports Club says X, Y, and Z. Okay, I can't believe TLP said that. I can't start pretending that I'm a self-made man. I can't start thinking that, look at me now, I've made it, and forget people like Phil Surreal, the Tennis Channel, Viral Authority, Star TH, DC, Carson Music, VI, Born and Bred, Curtis Duff, Chad McKinnon of the Texas Truth, KMS 929. I can't forget about those people that has helped me to get there and now start saying, I'm a self-made man. Look how I built this YouTube empire and look at me now. I'm self-made. God's looking at me like, are you stupid, little boy? So I say that to say this. Travis Hunter is a young man developing. He's coming up. He's very talented. God has blessed him. Even with that, he has dark days. He has off days. When he's hurt, somebody comforts him. When he's in pain, when he's going through emotional distress, when he's going through emotional things, somebody's there for him. Somebody's been there for him a long time, and that's that young lady. What you're doing is discounting her feeling and what she's and her important role that she's had in his development. But you're taking that and you're looking at how much money he's about to make in the NFL, and that's all you're seeing now. You don't know the dark days. You don't know the cries behind the scenes when he got hurt and he wasn't playing. Somebody was there to comfort him. The days at Jackson State when he got hurt, somebody's there to comfort him. The days that when you're celebrating or when you're talking poorly about him or how he got cooked at Stanford, he goes home and he's seen that in the media. You're not there. She's there. Single mothers, or not single mothers, stay-at-home moms are doing the work that the person that is not at home is doing, that's not doing. Situations that we have no idea about. We just look at the glitz and the glams, and we forget the fact that there is something going on behind the scenes. But we are all coming to Travis Hunter and saying, let her go. Why? I want to discuss that more in depth with my friends. Let me invite one of them. Let me invite a couple of them. DC Carson Music. What up, my guy? How you doing today? I appreciate you calling in. What up, man?
Nothing much, man. Doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Man, I'm good. I want to talk about this today. I'm feeling well, man. I'm feeling good. And I feel like you guys are the right people to come to this and talk about because y'all are responsible human beings. I respect y'all. So let's talk about this today. Let me bring on the other guy. Phil So Real. What up, my guy? How you doing today, my brother? How are you, man?
I like how you said the other guy. I like that. I like that. Nah, man, but that's dope, man. I love that you giving love back to the followers on the channel, man. Cause like all jokes aside, like we do help the channel become what it is, but at the same time, man, we will be rocking with you if we didn't see something in you that we enjoyed. So just like you trying to give us our flowers and give us appreciation, we want to appreciate you for doing what you're doing, being a man of high honor and not being a man of low cunning and ill repute, like a lot of people are out there. So thank you for
I
what you do
appreciate
as well, Harry.
appreciate you, man. Thank you for giving me those flowers. I'll take my flowers just like you take your compliments. I take those flowers, man. Thank you. You have taught me on this channel to accept the compliments and the flowers when they're given. So thank
Just
you.
take it, man. We never know when the last time we gonna get them, and we
Thank
never
you.
know how often we gonna get them. So you gotta enjoy it while you can.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, guys, you can call into the show just like these two. They're on here. All right. You can call into the show. Join TUP Live at gmail.com. I'm going to put up the sticker one more time. I'll leave it up there for just a few minutes while we discuss this important topic. So, gentlemen, I feel like we as a society are missing the point again. Here we are again. We're missing the point again. And you know we tackled the big topics, the other side of the coin, per se, right? we always tackle those things that nobody else is willing to tackle. So here we are again. I'm challenging us as a society again. Here we are. You don't have to agree with me. This is not no echo chamber, and you're barely agreeing with me on this channel. So I want to hear your opinion. Is this us going crazy again? Or do y'all believe Travis Hunter should let her go?
But let me start by saying this. So, Harry, I always wonder what would I do if I made it to big, lights, stars, all that kind of stuff. And then a scandal or something comes out. Because folks, believe it or not, a thing is when you ask for the spotlight, you don't get to determine what people look at. And you don't get to determine what they say. And if somebody, let's say I was Travis Hunter with my uh, wisdom that I have now from living, I probably would look in straight in the camera. I said, bring the cameras in. I want all of y'all to bring it in. Let me tell y'all something. I know what you saw, but let's get one thing straight. You get access to my talent. You don't get access to my life.
No. Repeat that. Put that in reverse and say it again.
I would say cameras zoom in. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say it once. I say you get access to my talent, but you don't have access to my life.
Mm.
And somebody has to always say that is that you give people, think about this. You give the bank access to your money. You don't give the bank access to your life, right?
Right.
There'll be some things
And
that's
how
need
you
to
use
know.
that money and what you do with it and all of that. Yeah, they don't.
Exactly. Right. There's a need to know. The thing is, I would say, and just side note, real quick, I find it funny folks are saying stuff about Travis and saying we can't say nothing about him, which I do think we need to be careful with that. You just need to keep that same energy when folks was going all into Cormani's life. You can't have it both ways. If we're gonna respect the player, let's respect the players for what they are, and not be show favoritism for one and not for the other. As far as Travis with her, I don't know. What's going on? Only thing I would tell young men this, and having led thousands of young men at that age, I would always tell them this. Like sometimes you're gonna have to deal with that in private, but I will always tell young men this. First thing, you never pick a woman with your eyes. And the second thing is you always pick a woman for where you're going, not where you are. I don't know what's going on with them, but it's probably a learning thing for her and him to pull it in.
And
We as
I got
adults,
pushback. I got
go ahead.
pushback. And let me tell you why I got pushback. Emotions are not something that you can dictate how they're going to come about, right? I agree. She needs media training and all of that stuff, right? I agree with people. I can come to an agreement with y'all and I can meet y'all halfway. However, when somebody displays raw emotions like that, we're saying, oh, you should have just kissed them and then just go off camera and then y'all can deal with your issues. First of all, y'all thinking that she knows the cameras are on her. She's out of game, right? How is she supposed to know that, oh, at this moment when Travis Hunter comes over to me and gives me a hug, the script says the camera's on him? She doesn't know that. She don't know that. She was in real time reacting to her emotions as it came to her in real time. How many of y'all out there know to do the right thing at the right time all the time? I don't believe that any of y'all would do the same thing, especially if you didn't know. This situation is the same situation whether he has $3 million or he has $50 million coming, or he got $50 in the bank account, and he's at a dinner, at a company dinner, and he said, "Babe, not right now. Let's talk about this when we leave this dinner." And you say, "No, we're gonna deal with it right now." That's the same situation. So you telling me that it's different because he got millions? Or are we talking about respect? Phil, what are we talking about?
I mean,
I need to know.
that's actually kind of how I feel. What are we talking about, and why the heck are we talking about it? I think this is a big nothing burger. I think we saw a fraction of a second, a millisecond, not even that of a second of their entire relationship. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It is what it is. If you're asking me, do I think he should leave her? No.
No,
He should.
I'm not asking you that. I'm not asking you that.
No, but I'm saying, wasn't that the question that you initially asked? Should Travis leave her?
Well, I asked DC that.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
No, he shouldn't leave her. No.
This is what I'm saying, right? The equivalent of we are at the stop sign walking down New York City, Fifth Avenue. We're having an argument. We're at a dinner party with friends, right? Something comes up and you feel some kind of way. You're the woman or whatever. I go in for the kiss. You give me the Travis Hunter, right? You give me the other Heisman.
The Heisman woman, maybe.
The Heisman. Wait.
I don't know. Give me some cheese. I don't know.
Don't tint this. Do not tint it, okay, Phil?
So
the
Heisman. No. The Heisman. The Heisman.
This is a Heisman?
The Heisman. I'm gonna go on the copyright there real quick.
Also copyright it wasn't the Heisman, it was the Bisman.
I like the Hersman. So
I do too.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the Heisman, and this is the Hersman. Okay. All right, Phil, you've done it again.
I do what I can, man. I do what I can.
I know, man. You are Jim on this show. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, hold up. So you're at a dinner party. The equivalence. Dinner party on Fifth Avenue, New York City, or somewhere in Decatur. I don't care where. Pick a place under the trees. I don't care. Right? She gives you the Hersman. What is the difference between that and what she did out on that field? What's the difference? Is it because the cameras was there, Phil?
Listen, we're only giving it oxygen because we're talking about it. When I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, like I get it. They might have a little bit of an issue or whatever in that specific moment, but I don't think that is now I was trying to use a big word and be all woke and stuff, but now I can't think of it. So I got it. That is not an indictment on their relationship as a whole. I think that is, like I said, it's a small glimpse of what happens. I promise you, if you were a fly on the wall with me and my wife or like girlfriends in the past, and you see us in certain moments, you'd be like, what is going on with them? And then there'll be other moments where you're like, man, they really in love. So it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just little glimpses of their relationship that we got to see. It ain't none of our business. If they decide to put things out there, that's on them. Like when there was a video where they talked about, I guess, different rules or like agreements they have with each other, like not being alone with people of the other sex, or when they go out to dinner, if it's a female waitress, like she feel away if the female waitress is only talking to Travis. You know what I'm saying? So like they have to be respectful to each other. All this kind of stuff they do. So that's fine. If they got that agreement, good for them. Be happy.
Hey, but you know what though? Sometimes stuff happens, man, and you just have to, you just it is what it is. I don't think we should judge them, but understand folks are going to judge them. But I know some people are saying, well, why are we even talking about this? You talk about it because it's not condemning him. You talk about it because there's sometimes life lessons in it.
Right.
And it's also supporting of like the thing I would say is that don't ever play we listen and we don't judge for me. Don't do it. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
We're not playing that game of, oh, she don't matter because he got the bag. We're not.
No.
I'm not playing a game where her feelings don't matter because the camera's all around. What happens? How did you act when the cameras were not there? Were you respectful? Anyway, you know what? Let me bring on CU Fan. He wants to join the conversation. CU Fan, welcome to the show, brother. I appreciate you calling. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Harry. How are you?
All is well. All is well. I hope you are up because I know it's probably early where you at. But I'm having this conversation because I want to know what about her. I'm an equal opportunity, either we call it offender, equal opportunity. I want to have conversations where we understand different dynamics, different ways to look at a story, because everybody is on Travis Hunter saying, Travis Hunter himself came out and said, she good. She good. It was a misunderstanding. She good. So why is it that we, especially Nate Robertson, saying, bro, get rid of her? Why in our society do we quickly jump on the side of money without understanding what's going on? Because the power is there. Oh, now he has power, so let's protect the bag. Why do we go to protecting the bag and not understanding the dynamic of what's going on?
You want me to answer that?
You don't have to.
Okay.
I
Well,
thought that's why
okay.
you came on.
No. I didn't know if you were going to answer to talk to everybody about it. So yeah. Okay. So the problem is that we're always nosy. We're in the Colorado Buffaloes perspective of seeing what's going on. We want the best for our players. And sometimes when we see something, we think, hey, that's not good because one, Deion Sanders has gone through it, and probably their own personal lives, they've gone through it. And, or they know someone that's gone through it. And they know that money could be the root of evil if you allow it to be evil. And many people just want their opinion. We have our opinions, and we want to make sure that that person understands that, hey, drop her because we've seen enough of it. But I've been married for 12 years now, and I could say when you're in a relationship for a very long time, you when you love that person, you can go through whatever it is, and you still you'll get through whatever happens, and especially if you're in the spotlight, you got to be strong when you're in the spotlight, because so many people are going to be very judgmental against you, and they may say some things that you don't want to hear, but then that tries to interfere with your mental, and they'll try to do things to break you up. And in this case, a woman has their own opinion on what's going on. We don't know what's going on. We are only saying what's going on. And a lot of us are saying, drop her because, they've seen it. But in this case, I say, let them sort it out. Let them, whatever they're going through or whatever it is, you know, they should have a moment of privacy to be able to do what they need to do in their lives, and actually, if it's bad, try to fix it. If it's good, keep going. But love, if they're truly in love, then love will persevere and move forward on it.
Let
All
me
right, so
piggyback off of that real quick, Harry.
yeah, go
It's
ahead.
that I would say it's that all relationships, y'all have y'all turn moments. You have your moments where it's off the chain. I remember working doing parking lot, ministry at church.
Mhm.
And you'd be surprised how many people pull up cussing each other out and then get out the car. Um, Morning, Brother Carson, praise God. I was like, hey, what I heard, I'm gonna switch up when you just called. But it'd be funny how people will switch it up. But a lot of interesting. Everybody has been there where you have had an argument before church.
Mhm.
I've had an argument before I minister, and I'm sitting up there playing the keyboard, saying, "Man, I tell you what, God, striker right now." The point being,
Yo.
at the end of the day, is ugly moments happen. It's just that they happen to be where ugly moment happens on camera, and we give them grace and keep moving.
Yeah, but everybody that sees the ugly moment on camera, right? We just happen to see that on camera. We don't know what's going on in their relationship. We have no idea the type of the type of the the extent of whatever was going on. All we did was just jump to the part of let her go. Bruh, she's about to mess up your bag. Yada, yada, yada. I didn't hear anybody say, wow, she must have been upset. Because the thing that we don't credit her for is she been here before. This is a 4 year strong. We've been in the media. We got our own show. We got our own YouTube channel together. She knows how to deal with the media. But there's a point where everybody breaks. And I don't care if there's a camera around or anything. My dude, if you do that again, we're gonna have you feel me? So it's like everybody jump. Hold on. I know I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you because I know how you feel about this. She has this moment, and she didn't care about no cameras. Not like this is her first time knowing that this is Travis Hunter. She is talented. She has money. This girl is educated. She knows what's going on. That was a moment, and I'm glad that it's teaching us some things about us, because we have to understand that there's always three sides to a story. Whatever he said, whatever she said, and whatever we don't know. That's the third side. We don't know what the heck is going on. But the fact that you jump straight to, bro, let her go. Hey, man, protect your money, prenup, X, Y, and Z. How you know that was about money? How you know that girl won't just step away and be like, I don't care. You think I need your money? Everything ain't about money, but the American, the Western society, everything is about money. Platform, look at me. Everything to you is about money. Everything ain't about money, bro. Bro, broke people are happy. If you can create happiness within you, it is not about money. How you know that I dude don't just love that girl and she's taking him through a whole lot, and he would trade every bag just to have her in his presence. Go ahead, Phil.
So I'm gonna say this, and then I honestly don't have anything else to say on the matter.
You gotta have something to say because you're on the
panel. Well, let me rephrase this. I will comment on this against my will, but I will be honest with you and how I feel about whatever you ask me. But I do want to point out this statement though, or this thought that I just had. Mm-hmm. When it came out that Travis and the young lady, I cannot remember her name, were getting engaged, the same people, as far as like in the media, that's saying, or like former players that's saying leave her, she ain't for you, she with the money, all this kind of stuff. Those were the same people praising him when he got engaged. He got his head on right. He a 4.0 student. He trying to start a family. You know what I'm saying? Early, he trying to do right by this woman. But now it's like, oh man, she ain't no good because she was upset in the moment. She was upset in the moment. So now he got to leave her for that. That's just asinine and stupid for me. That's why I don't really want to talk about it anymore.
Why was this in the beginning?
Because it's been boiling up. Because
did I want to talk? Come on, man.
Harry, we've been talking about this ish for too darn long, and that's the cleanest I can make it. So this is why I'm talking like this.
This is my first time talking about it. I didn't touch it at first, but I wanted to bring a different angle, and I'm glad you just said that. Because let me look. This is what Surfer Boy 3000 says. What up, Harry B? Hey, what's up, Surf and crew? You guys are the crew. Phil, CU fan, DC, you're the crew. Okay? Just agree if you don't agree. I agree, and Trav's girlfriend covered him when he was in high school, and she's been a real ride or die for him. Now they may take, but she was there before he had cash. Whatever that I think he was trying to type. You know, he's probably at work or driving or whatever. But that's the whole point here, society. That's the whole point here, Americans. Come on, America. Oh, not just America, because we're an international show. But this is how we are. This is pointing to a problem that we have in society, and we are not healed. Because of the money, we're forgetting about what's important. The relationship. The relationship is important. Life is important. Life has to life. Without the money, you still need relationships. Go ahead, please.
But the truth is, like, I think when you're in that spotlight, you always have to remember something I've learned is that you could be one week Hosanna and the next week crucifier. And you always have to remember that these people ain't your friends. They got a job. And so I don't take that, I mean, think about it. Prime, they got videos out there, Prime dodging his ex-wife, on that, making things out of that because people like the
Bro, he was
drama.
out of there so quick, bro.
Man, dude,
when he
I'm
dropped
telling
his
you.
kids off, he was.
He did. I was like, dang, that's when it's like, nah,
Yo,
you see it. Go ahead.
that was hilarious. I was just gonna say
When
that was hilarious. I didn't even notice it in real time, but then I saw people pointing it out. Even if that wasn't the real case, it's just still funny to see because if you remember that divorce, that it was a lot of nasty stuff coming out. If he did want to run away from her, I would stand 8 toes down with him and run the hell away from her too.
Hey, DC,
Yeah.
but do you think that Deion Sanders has talked to Travis about the situation?
Oh, I'm sure that anybody that's mentoring, listen, if, as a mentor of men and women, obviously, you gonna talk relationships. If not, you are failing the people that you are leading. And it at the end of the day is, as a young person, you don't know who to pick. You don't know. I won't even say you don't know. Never mind. I won't say that. But point being, it was a military term, but totally not appropriate for here. You don't know what's going on, so I think he did. But the point being is that it's a learning lesson to all of us, and it's a learning lesson to you know as the media, he's got to be to a point, and we've got to be to a point. The media are gonna turn. You're gonna hit stuff you like. You're gonna hit stuff you don't. That's their job. You let it go. As far as I think, I agree with what you're saying, Phil, about like giving it oxygen. But unfortunately, that happens. But here's the thing: you have to let that fire burn out. With him, I would say no. It isn't that you go ahead and get rid of somebody that's been with you this entire time. It's just that we have to understand they went from children to adults and they are still learning, and we got to give them grace. So I don't have no problem with what she did. Y'all already know, y'all, almost all of y'all that have been married that had arguments in a Walmart or something like that in an unopportune place. So
Right.
if you're shading Travis, you're wrong. If you're shading her for being at that point of emotions, you're wrong.
Right.
Because no, let's not do that. But that doesn't mean we can't look at it to a point of and start talking about, because I think you're talking more so of how the media is responding to them than necessarily her response. Is that correct?
Yeah. What? Listen, I don't think it's as big as we're making it. I think for them, it was a moment. But listen, whenever it's okay, this is the thing. Whenever the things that we're going through is caught on a platform, a bigger platform, then all of a sudden it shines light in a place. Now we got to deal with it in a different way. But why is it that when it comes to dealing with it, we take sides? Why do we take sides? Why don't we just deal with it on equal footing? We're taking a side. Oh no, she's this. Oh no, she's that. Why are we taking a side? Why can't we just say, you know what? I get it, girl. A lot of women are saying, some of the women are saying, oh, she should have known better. But I'm still on this trip. I'm still tripping on this. That moment, even though it was caught on camera, that moment is no different from when you are at the company party and you shade him also. You got your Travis. We got Travis. He's up here because he's a celebrity. What about you out there? What about you that's listening to us? What about you? And let's say you are a woman. Did you ever shade your guy or your partner? Did you ever shade them in front of other people? And what will be the difference?
There is no difference. Travis Hunter is going to be the Heisman Trophy winner this year. He is arguably one of the most impressive college football players we've seen. And I'm going to be real simple because I know people can give pushback. I think he's one of the best college football players we've seen since 2000. Let's put it that way. All right. He's a special person. He's a special talent. Cameras are all around him. He's also at Colorado, quote unquote, Deion Techs. So I think that's just what it boils down to. There are regular people having regular problems. It's just that everybody else gets to see it. When regular people have their problems, it's inside those four walls of their home instead of outside at Folsom Field.
Now
So how
I will tell you this is that if it is an issue, let's say internally with her, it'll show up. Like you said, the comment that I said that if it's like, 'cause some people say, well, it's because of other women, men with things like that. Folks, all I'm gonna tell you is if you are ever at a hotel, like I was at a hotel in Miami, that same hotel that the Jets were in, and there's an extended scale on from past 10, if you know what I mean. There is an extended scale past a perfect 10. So women in that are dating men like that have to be extremely strong, and that's probably a great point because they're gonna come at them. I mean, these folks lie. Even Prime was talking about that back in the day, like him and Michael Irvin. They would literally be in the lobby. So you have to have solid people in your life. But at the end of the day, is she got to grow into that. So I'm giving her grace, shutting up.
yo, OMG, yo, this girl has been with Travis Hunter for a while, and when you go to their videos, you should see women and men and other people talking about how they like their relationship. But the second that there's any type of issue or they smell any kind of situation, they go straight to it. They go straight to the jugular. And it's like, but wait a minute, a second ago you were saying how great it were. So do we have, this is a question for the panel, do we have an unrealistic mentality when it comes to either celebrity people or when it comes to certain relationships? Do we have an unrealistic mentality? Like people have to be perfect. And then we got to deal with the idol worship that is within this. The idol worship is there. And I want to point out the idol worship. It's right there and we haven't touched it. It's right in front of us. But the first question is, do we have an unrealistic mentality when it comes to how celebrities or people that are in public, how they should deal with certain situations? Because if you look at Deion Sanders' situation, doing that whole, like even Jason Waylock, his BFF, right? He did a whole breakdown on how the divorce happened, and everybody was talking about X, Y, and Z. So how should we look at people when they're in the public? How should we deal with them, especially when they start having issues? Anybody can go first. Phil, DC, see you first.
I'll start first. I think in the view that we should give anybody grace. Anybody that has to do with a relationship that just when you see something like that, you know that moment is a very uncomfortable situation for either person, the woman or the man. And at that moment, you need to kind of like let them do what is necessary. In that moment, I mean, if you look at the video, I believe um, he's trying to calm her down in a way. But at that moment, she was in her emotion that wouldn't allow it. So in this, for us as human beings, we should be able to say, "Hey, they're having a moment at this time." To have that, to give them that grace, that the opportunity, because each and one of us, me, you, Harry, and anybody else on this panel, have probably had those moments in their life where it's just like, man, I'm in front of like my mother or in front of my family or friends. We're at a party, and it's not looking good. And in that situation, you just, for me, I've learned to step away from the situation at that moment where it's like, you know what, I'm gonna go do something else while they take care of what they need to do.
So
Because
let me step in here real quick and say, because something you said just sparked a thought in my brain. Why is it so hard for us to give grace? Why is it that Western society, I have this term in my head, it's a Liberian term. When people's stomachs are full, they don't know what else to do. Why is it that it's so hard to give grace to other people? Like, why is grace fleeting? Because this is a situation, that's this whole topic that we dealt with when it comes to Coach Prime. Why is grace such a hard thing to give? And you can
Here,
finish. See, you fan, you can
hold
you
on
got,
one second. Hold on one second, though. Harry, you know that ain't library. You stole that from Yoda. Just stop.
wait, I did?
I'm messing with you.
Does
I'm
Yoda
messing
say
with you,
that?
bro.
If y'all, my man, when I said, but let me just, the best way for me to say this, let me say it in my Liberian English. I said, Abba, when your stomach full, my man, your stomach full, like we'll say, Abba, your stomach full, because hungry people that are, searching for answers, they're not worried. They don't spend too much time on frivolous conversations. They don't spend too much time on other things. It seems like when your stomach is full, that's when your mind starts to think of other things. in the first world, man.
Hey, Harry,
But Harry, real quick, full stomachs generally lead to being full of something else.
That is true.
I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real.
Go ahead, Phil.
yeah, no, I was gonna say, look, Bob Marley got a song that says "them belly full, but them hungry." You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You may be full, but you still lacking for something. You know what I'm saying? You don't have everything that you need. It may be mentally, spiritually, physically, whatever the case is, but you got the nourishment in you, but you're still lacking. And I think unfortunately that's where a lot of people are. But let's be very clear. Everybody in this world is lacking something. Some have it more figured out than others. Some, Lord, we got to pray for them. They're in a struggle right now, and then some, they're getting out of their struggle bus into their prosperity situation. So we all got different issues, and we just need to understand that. I know it sounds kind of like kumbaya and cliche, but like we just have to be understanding. Like everybody got stuff going on.
Let me bring on see you, fan. I'll give you a second to finish your thought. Let me bring on Tim Smith in the meantime. Tim Smith, what up? Dallas is in the building. What up, my guy? Thank you for calling. I appreciate you, man. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. Thank you for having me on once again. To
For
the
sure.
rest of the panel, salute my guys.
So for sure. We on one today. We on one. I think we on two today. Hey, see you, fan. Finish your thought, my guy.
Well, we just want to add to what Phil Surreal said. It's like it's a lot of times if you're a man of God or a man of or a woman of God, most of the times all you can do is just pray for them. Most of the time you can't. I learned this young in my age. I don't know, in my 20s. I had friends that had relationships, and I would involve myself. I'd be like, "Hey, man, you guys got to chill. Why are you guys doing that?" And as soon as you do something like that, either one of them, doesn't matter who it is, they'll get offended because you're now involving them yourself in them when they didn't even ask you to involve them. Like lot that I've seen that happen where I myself perspective personally, where it can go wrong. Now there's a fight between you and that person, and in this case, I remember when I gave some relationship advice. That girl, well, she slapped me in the face for saying something, and I learned
That's
that.
assault. That's assault, and I hope you press charges on her.
Well, so you understand that's young in my life, and I'm telling you right now, sometimes that's why I've learned to just step away and not say anything and let them deal with the situation, because of the fact that sometimes you make it worse.
But see, you fan, the thing she and I agree with that. But we don't know what's happened. She might have been getting ready to have a blowout and going, I need to use the bathroom. He was like, calm down, I'm gonna get you to no, I need to go now. I'm being funny, but we don't know what it was about. We just know her face was contorted and something was a problem. And that's it. That's why I think it needs grace, because anybody that's been near the realm of hell after eating some hot wings, no. I got to get out of here.
That is definitely a perspective I didn't think about. Those hot wings could definitely have you going. So, but let me ask Tim. Tim, why is grace? I'm going to bring it back to this. Why is grace fleeting in America? Why is grace fleeting in first world countries? Why is it that it's so hard for us to give other people grace? We can't even think about her because Travis Hunter he's about to be rich. Well, he's rich now, but why is Grace so hard for us, man?
Uh, a lot of people have opinions. So many people. I like what CU fan and Phil was saying. A lot of people have opinions. Uh, and looking at the issue with Travis, I give them grace because that's their relationship. They're young, they're growing, so uh, this is new to them. Moving forward, this is a new chapter in their lives. So, like CU fans said, I'm not gonna voice my opinion upon their relationship that I don't know anything about. Only thing I could do is pray for them and hope for the best. Uh,
Let me ask
but
something, Tim. Oh, go ahead.
uh-huh.
Go ahead. Finish that thought. Finish that thought.
No, I give them grace.
Okay. Let me add this. This is something where this is something where I don't know. It was a couple of years ago. I used to live by this mantra. Somebody put this in my spirit, and my family and I live with it for so long, and we still use it from time to time. I want to ask y'all this, and I want y'all to contemplate on this before you answer, even in the chat. Did this help their relationship? And let me tell you why I'm asking this question. Sometimes things happen in our lives to bring awareness to a part of us that was missing, something that we needed to deal with. So a couple of years ago, somebody said, I think it was a politician. I think it was the late, I forget the OG, but he said, when something happens to you, instead of you attacking it in this way, you should attack it as, why did this happen for me? I think if y'all remember the politician, that let me know. He said, I want you to ask this question. This is what he does. I want you to ask, instead of why did this happen to me, I want you to ask, why did this happen for me? So why do y'all think this happened for them? Because this has started a discussion. What I think, if we're going to go on the Christian line or go on a moral line, I think it happened for them to open up a conversation to strengthen their relationship. That's what I think, right? But I would be remiss to say, I want to just deal with Travis Hunter having a prenup. I want to deal with their relationship. I want to deal with both of them, giving them an opportunity to say, hey, they both are in this relationship. Stop making it about one person. Because if there's no money, if Travis Hunter wasn't as good, there are other young men that have relationships and women that are protecting them and women that are hanging around. They may not get to the NFL. What about them? You feel me? So it's not always about, let's sell the money, but why do y'all think this happened for them? Let me get some more thoughts on this. Why would you think this would happen for them? Because obviously things don't just happen for no reason. There's always a reason. There was something they were either praying for, or hoping for, or something that they asked God for, and they just didn't know how to deal with it. But I feel like this thing happened to strengthen their relationship, because this is going to bring them to marriage to understand, are we marrying for the right reason, guys? You feel me? Because those are some hard questions you got to answer before you say, yes, I do. So
That's
why did this
facts.
happen for them, Tim? Let's start with Tim.
I think it happened for them so they can have a clear picture of what they are about to embark upon.
Yes.
Being on the main stage, high profile athlete that's going to be under microscopic lenses all times, 24/7 a day. I mean, 24 hours a day. The question that I would have for them is, somebody that's been married for almost going on 15 years. You know, the little things, everything doesn't. There's a time and a place for discussions, regardless of what it is, whether it's good or bad. There's a time and place for discussions. Not only that, it's like, what are your standards? Each y'all are individuals coming together collectively as one, but you still have you're still separate individuals. But what are your standards for yourself? What are your deal breakers for yourself?
Okay, Tim. Okay, Tim.
But I'm gonna let somebody else take the mic because I could talk about this for a long time.
Sheesh. Nah, man, you hitting on some gems right there, because people don't understand that young people getting married, this ain't about no looks. This ain't about no pockets. Man, listen, marriage is real. Tim, you just hit on some stuff. Who wants the mic next? Go ahead, please. Hey, East Coast Kev, I appreciate the super chat, man. You got the link. I just sent you the link. Come on here, brother. Let's keep it mature. This is a mature conversation. And you're going to get mature conversations here on TLP Sports Club. We talk about the stuff that nobody else is willing to touch.
Quick question, Harry. Is there going to be football talk? Because I have a hard out at 1. So I just want to make sure if we are going to talk football, I just need at least 10 minutes. Not me to talk for 10 minutes, but I just need a 10-minute conversation. Yeah.
Okay.
So
well, I'll save some time for football talk. I promise you. Okay. But you got to remember me. You got to remind me at 12:30 so that we can get into some football. Okay.
Okay, bet. I got you.
Well, but we got to flush this out. This is a systematic issue that we got to flush out. I know you want football, but let's deal with this human stuff first.
I'll go next.
Please go next, because Tim, stay on the line that Tim just opened up. Like that right there, if you are young and you are getting married, and you better find all the red flags and turn them into green, or you better be yellow. You better turn them into yellow before you go. Because if you don't, and you let those red flags hang around, go ahead, see you, fan.
Okay, so on the biblical and Christian way of thinking here, the Bible in Ephesians, the book of Ephesians, it talks about how we should deal with the relationship with our wives. And in this case, from my understanding, Travis Hunter is a Christian man, so he should be reading the Bible, or at least understanding what it means. And in this, it talks about how we should treat our wives, how we should deal with our wives, and how we love them. And, I've gone through some personal relationship problems in my life. And I could tell you, when I first started dating, man, it was just basically hooking up with girls and just, being hooked up for like maybe 6 months, and then, hey, you know what? The relationship didn't work out. But when you're with someone that you've been with for a very long time, you can go through thick and thin, and you can go through a lot of stuff. And if you have a basis of Christianity in your life and love, and look at the hardships that you've gone through, that right there is a good connection. So we go through trials, and it makes us stronger in our relationships, because I know for a fact my relationship has become very strong with my wife because of early, and it happens early, trials in your relationship. And when you go through that, it just, your foundation of your love for your wife becomes so much stronger.
So yeah, Marvin or whatever. Yeah, a woman doesn't lead a relationship. We get that. We understand. You know what I'm saying? A man is supposed to take the lead. But are there any real men left in this world? But listen, don't answer that question. I don't want you to answer that question, because on Thursday of next week, I'm talking to one of my college friends. His name is Jared York. I'm going to be having a discussion on a billionaire's mindset. A billionaire's mindset. If you look on the chat, I just put on there, you'll see billionaire's mindset. That's how I spell it. If you just put that into your search box, it'll pull up the channel, billionaire's mindset. I'm having a discussion. Are there any real men left? On Thursday night at 7 p.m., I will be having that discussion because we have a lot of people that don't understand the role of a man, and they have these internet people that comes on there, and they have these high standard men or high value men and stuff like that, and they're getting it all the way wrong. And I'm trying to understand why. So Thursday night at 7 p.m., I will be talking to one of my college buddies. He's very smart, very astute. I'll be talking to him. So if you want to join at 7 p.m., please join us live. You'll get a chance to call in and have your questions answered and stuff like that. But we'll be having that conversation on Thursday. That's next week at 7 p.m. Pending,
Harry,
guys, yeah.
I will be happy to be about part of that. But I'm gonna keep it real, folks. Here's the thing: in any marriage or long-term relationship, I need y'all to understand this. All marriages will die. It is once it has died, it's when the real relationship shows up.
Mm,
It's
mm,
it's planted. All will die. That's why when sometimes when I'm mentoring young women, I'll sit back and say that, if they'll say, well, I need some chemistry. I said, well, the devil gives chemistry too. So
mm.
you have to be mindful of it's that you have to look for. I always say you need to be looking for a fireplace, not fireworks. And
Mm.
because there's a difference in what you have. And I didn't learn how to be a
Hey,
good man. And was
what's
a
the address for your church?
no, I don't have one. I'm just telling you what I've learned
Where do we
in
get the
life,
word
man.
on a Sunday?
Hey, yo, I was sitting up here telling you, I had to come to a point where I had to check myself as a husband. I had to check myself as a father, all kind of stuff,
Mm.
and it doesn't happen until you have to be intentional. So with them, you go and
QC,
have the,
stay on all marriage have to die. Because I feel like you were going somewhere and the Holy Spirit told me something. But stay right there. Stay all because you know how Christ says you have to die to self for him to rise in you, right?
yes.
Paraphrasing, obviously. But stay right there. Can you elaborate on that?
All right. So the first marriage you have is about what you think it is. It's about you getting what you need, and that
Mm,
person's getting what they need. With men, we already know our number one need, which I'm gonna tell you right now that getting married just to have that is foolish. You have to
right.
be able to understand. And number one, I'm gonna just be honest with you when you're talking about this husband. Most people are not husbands. Most men are not husbands. Most women are not wives. So I don't know why people are trying to make them. But I digress. The marriage dies because we have all these fantasies. We have
Mm.
these things that we believe as men,
What?
women have that, and then all of that has to go once you go through pregnancy, postpartum depression. You go through hormonal things as men that we realize I have to love this woman more than what I feel she's able to give me in the bedroom. And the woman, him being financial or whatever it is, your butterfly, them butterflies gonna die. Butterflies live for only 28 days. But anyway, it's going to die and all of that stuff, and you're going to be frustrated. And a lot of people divorce them because they think they'll still find it, only that subsequent marriages generally have, even like first marriages fail at a 50% rate, but second marriages fail at almost an 80%, and third marriages over 80%, because people don't realize it's going to die because you're dying to what you believe, and you only become a great marriage when you are transformed by the
Mm.
renewing of your mind. You
Woo.
have to look at this person, that this is not just somebody you get to have fun with and snuggle up and Netflix and chill. This might be somebody that takes you to your appointment when you have cancer. Fellas, this might be somebody that you have to literally sit there and sweep up their hair from the chemo and wipe up their puke, and then maybe feed them broth because they can't eat nothing.
At
And
that point,
then
your
women,
marriage, your money don't matter no more.
exactly, none of it. And understand, ladies, you need a man that you can, that will bear. Because I always tell my daughters, I said, look for the man. It's not the only thing. I said that you could trust to bury you. Because it's a different ball game, and that's what I think most people are getting rid of people and saying, like I listen to people say, well, I want a man that could be a provider. Provider is not about just money. A provider is also about when the stuff hits the fan, can he make stuff happen? And ladies, it's also finding a man that, again, that you can trust when you're at your lowest moment.
Mm.
That's what it's about. And you got to kill this fantasy. You got to kill the strong, independent winds up dying alone. I'm just telling you,
But
it is
DC,
what it is.
DC,
Yes.
the, so I mean, I'd like to add to that as
Hey,
well.
can I? Oh,
There's no pushback on it. I agree with you saying, but a lot of times what women go through is
Woo.
they go through the bad stuff in order to get to the good stuff. And it's unfortunate that they do, because sometimes women look for the wrong stuff because they're living in a moment that they don't need to be in, and that's their moment that they have. And it isn't until
Hey, that goes both ways. Let's just point that out. That goes both ways.
yes, you're right. It does go both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, we get stuck in these defensive walls that we set up, and we never find that person. Because what happens is you have to build trust. Trust is not just given. The trust can take years. And once you have built that trust, it's so hard to tear down. Like, you literally can try to break walls, and that trust will never be broken, because of the fact that your love is so deep with it. And that's what a lot of times women, like, or men, will look at a situation and say, no, I can't trust her or him anymore because of what's happened. But
But check this out. I'm gonna tell you
hey,
this. Is that I'm say this and then yield.
Yeah,
Is
Tim.
that here's
Yeah,
the
Tim. After
thing.
you, the Tim goes.
Here's the here's the thing. It's impossible to go through a long-term marriage without offense. And that's why the Bible tells you don't let the sun set on your wrath. Because
Mm.
understand that offense, if you let it sit long enough,
It
it
fester.
don't kill the other person, it gets you. There's a
Mm.
thing that anger kills his landlord.
Mm.
Offense destroys you, and you have to be quick with it and say, as a man, look, this beef or whatever we got to squash it, because I am your Adam. I'm here to love you, and I have to be to a point where, hey, I might not have liked something, but you got to have that short-term memory.
Come
So I
on
keep
now.
saying is that you gotta have it, because it ain't worth it. That person can be, you know how many people had arguments and then the other person ain't make it back home.
Whew. Boy, it's deep.
I
It's so
love.
deep right now. Tim,
Go ahead.
I can't. I
hey,
can't. Woo! It's hot in
I,
here.
I was gonna say, DC man, I'm loving everything that you're saying, man.
Woo!
Some of those
Boy.
phrases I use myself to talk to my kids in the chat, and uh, you know, I can only tell my story, but
Mm.
when I married my wife, man, I wanted to make sure that my foundation was solid
Mm.
before we even said that we do. So my foundation was my communication, because the
Okay.
communication part of it is gonna take me
I'm
farther
done today. Y'all are killing me. I'm done.
in life. My transparency is my structure that's built on my foundation, which is my communication.
Stop playing with me.
So we can't, and I tell her, hey, if you got the nails, I got the hammer. But we both can't come to the slab of our foundation to try to build a house with two hammers and no nails. So I
Oh no, the
feel
devil is the liar. Your audio
what
did
I
not go. The devil trying. Go
oh
again.
I was gonna say we both can't come to the slab, which is our communication, to build a structure frame with two hammers, and nobody is gonna bring the nails. So that's how my marriage is really built upon. And when I looked at that clip with Travis and his fiance, I was looking and I seen I said, wow, their foundation is a little rocky. So there's
hey,
so you
Tim,
Damn.
so
fine tune that foundation, because you can't build a house on quicksand.
So when I said that, why did this happen for them? Because you can deal with some stuff, but some stuff, You're trying to deal with it. You're trying to find answers, and you just don't know how to get above it. You just don't know how to go beyond it. And then God's going to do something, or God's going to allow something to happen. And if you're out there and you've never, this is, I forget the name, that he was a civil rights leader. He was in Congress. John something.
John Lewis.
John Lewis. Thank you so much. John Lewis. Okay. This is what he said. Stop trying to always look for a reason why something is happening to you. Please try to find a reason why it's happening for you. I want to stress that, and I want to push that, because while we can all talk about this and detract from Travis and his relationship and everything that's going on, something in my spirit is telling me that they needed an answer, and this was the answer that they needed. This is something that they need. They're going to have conversations behind closed doors. They're going to talk about it. Somebody said earlier, I forgot which one of you guys said it, but this is going to help them to strengthen their relationship, because by the time they get married, all of the things that they're going to be facing and all of the scandals, and girls may be coming from left way because now he's rich and all of that. He's an NFL player and all of that. This thing comes to strengthen their relationship. And then when they get married, they have to understand what Tim just said, what DC is dropping. And there's people out there that's listening that are probably having marital issues, that are commenting. They can't even give their husband the respect of just not coming out and telling all his business at the company dinner. But they got answers for Travis Hunter and his girl. If you can't handle anything outside, you're on the streets talking to your husband.
What did Keisha do to you at the company dinner? Because you keep talking about this company dinner. Are you dealing with some issues? Come on, let's talk. Sit down on the couch.
I'm the company. So anytime she fussed with me at the house.
Were you at the dinner table eating your food and all that good stuff?
Exactly. Anytime she comes to the studio and want to give me smack, I let her know we at the company dinner, okay? But no, that's the thing. I'm trying to put this equivalent so people can understand. Like, it doesn't have to be on national TV. If you're talking about respect and how she should be and how she should act, look at your relationship. Look at how you treated your man in a basic, in the daggone grocery store. Look at how you treated your man in front of inconsequential people. And we can be right there. So all this answer that you got for her, she matters. She matters too. For all of y'all that's not thinking about people that have started off with nothing. Couples that have started off with nothing. And that woman was there all this time. And now that he's something, you're looking at him like, oh, you should leave him. He should leave you. That is not always the answer. There is always another route that you're not looking at. And I don't mind talking about it. Y'all can say whatever you want to say about me. All right? And I'm telling you, man, this is stuff that's in our culture. This is stuff that's in our society that we don't want to touch. We always on the surface. It's the money. Prenuptial. Yes, of course. Do the right thing. But what makes you think she about that money? What makes you think that's why she's there?
And can we also add to the fact that she can find her somebody else that can make some millions too? She has the look of one that will be able to find somebody else that can get millions. It may not be Travis Hunter millions, but she could be on the NFL sideline or NBA court, you know what I'm saying, chilling if she wanted to. So she'll be all right if he did decide to leave her.
There's also the assumption that she's either not talented enough, not smart enough to be able to make her own money. Why are we assuming
she got her master's, if I'm not mistaken. She got her master's. She got her own business. She helps him with the Twitch and streaming stuff they got going on. She got her stuff together.
So why are we assuming that because he is the let's deal with that idol worship? We only got a few more minutes. Then we got to talk football because that's what Phil wants to do. But isn't that the whole idea of an idol worship? Because the second that we see him, we totally forgetting that the fact that she is she's capable. This girl was not some scallywag on the streets that Travis Hunter found when he was rich playing football and said, come on, I'll help you out. She's educated. I'm sure she graduated with a degree. This girl is smart. She got ways to make money. So why is it that we do this thing, this idol worship, where now Travis Hunter is the ticket and we're protecting the ticket, but we're not worried about her? Did you think about that? Did anybody out there think about that? If you're thinking about that the first time here, give me a like or something. Because this here podcast, that's what we're dealing with. We help you to think about the other thing that you're not thinking about. Because I'm sure the conversation is about prenup. Boy, you better leave her because you better be rich and she's gonna drag you down. Why? Why is our society, and I'll come to who was next? I don't remember who's next. Who could just pick this up? Why is our society always looking down on women?
Phil haven't spoke.
You don't want me to talk about this.
Yeah, Phil ain't married. He got roommates. Okay, we don't want Phil to talk right now. Okay,
I'll just aside. I'll make a serious comment about this. I think everything that you guys have said is really spot on and really good information. And I hope that any person out there that's listening to this that's considering getting married definitely take everything that you guys said into consideration. I think at the end of the day, simply put, find somebody that y'all can sit down and shut the hell up with. Be okay with just sitting down and not doing anything. Everybody feel like the person they with, y'all got to go out to eat dinner all the time. You got to go to trips and do stuff. But sometimes if you can't even just sit down in peace and quiet with the person that you're with, that is a problem. So that would be one of the pieces of advice that I would give, is find somebody that you can have peace with. That is the most important thing for me. I know DC pointed out guys only want one thing. I can get that from anybody. But the people that can give that to me can't give me the peace that I really want. So I'll just leave it at that.
Well, the thing I would say,
because trust me, I can get it if I want it. No, I'll just
right.
Yeah, you're gonna keep trying to. You're gonna do that on my show again, bro. I'm telling you, you're not losing your wife on my show. So don't do it, bro. Like my show is not your place to quit. Okay.
No, trust me.
Now check this out, Harry. My thing is, the only thing I would say to folks is that the way Western dating is one big cycle of manipulation. That's why folks get love bombed and they do things that's not sustainable. If I was to tell a man out there dating right now or a woman, what would you do? I say you sit there and smile and you say, I'm looking at your halo. I'm just waiting to see your horns and then decide if I want to deal with them or not. Because we all have them.
I'm still in that one.
Really?
Are you writing these down so we can mail it to the listeners and to the?
I got that photographic memory.
I know I should be putting this down, guys. Been dealing because I've learned through a lot. Because I done been through a lot. Listen. You don't get this unless you done gone through the hell. I'm just telling you as it is.
That's
but
sure.
Thank God to be able to say it. Is at the end of the day is people are picking folks at their mountaintops, not their valley. But at the end, but understand this, and with them, she's been with them, and I would say you're with somebody in there because folks tell you nothing grows on the top of the mountain top. It grows in the valley.
Ooh, drop that bar. Hey. And at the top of the mountain, it's snowing. It's cold up there. It ain't cold up there. Talk that talk, DC.
Look at
Hey, Harry. Hey, I don't know if you talked about this earlier in the show because I came on a little bit later, but the speculations out there in the atmosphere was talking about, that Travis wasn't her type in the beginning. And I look at things like, that don't focus so much on the outer shell of the individual, because everything is going to deteriorate. Music Soul Child said it best. I love you when your hair turned gray. I love you if you gain a little weight, just as long as your love remains the same. So that come from within. I know everything is going to change about you.
Beauty is fleeting.
But I'm still going to love you through that. You know what I mean? Like DC stated earlier, you know, find somebody that you can say I can bury this individual at the end of the day.
Can I tell you this, Tim? Though, here's the thing I learned. Also, I guess I'm just has dropped some what I done seen as far as relationship. Because folks, again, I have lived a life. Folks sit back and say NFL cheerleaders, all that's not what you think it is. I promise you. But here's the thing I want to tell you: is that most of the time, your your type is toxic to you. And the other thing is that for a lot of people, because I listen to folks say my standard, I don't know where I'm going and what my preference and don't settle. Here's the thing: most of the time, for most people, you're not your type's type.
Mm.
And unfortunately, folks will say, and I always say this to my females that I always mentor. I said the type of man you like is not probably not the type of man you need. And folks have to stop doing these prayers of God, give me, versus releasing the decision to Him. And whatever He brings you is best for you. So I would say is that you got to understand your type. If you break down your type, more than likely it's based on all exterior, superficial things and not the depth. People like emotional intelligence until that emotional intelligence stops telling you comfortable lies and will tell you uncomfortable truth.
There you go.
Mm.
And the thing I would say as a man, always make sure, because women have gone through a lot and they struggle sometimes at work, is that if ever you have to have a hard conversation, always kind of start with, babe, I'm coming to you from a safe, not a hate space. But I'm
Mm.
It,
Oh,
also from a safe, not a hate space, from a safe, not a hate space. And I'm setting the environment because I have to deal with something. Because a lot of times people will respond to how they feel about what you said, not actually what you said. But anyway, so we can get back on it. I would say is that be careful with your type because a lot of people's type is not based on long term. Put it like this: most people, when you'll get to a point in your marriage where it won't be about feeling, it's be more so about willing. I have to do this. I need to make sure. It's like with your kids. You don't always feel like doing things, but you should always be willing to do things that they need.
hey, DC, let me just say this before Phil, somebody wanted to speak. Uh, from now on, you can't talk bad about Colorado because the love that you're getting now, you don't want to lose this momentum, okay? Because you are dropping straight fire today. It'll be sad to go back and start getting hated again. It'll just be weird, okay? So now you just gotta love Colorado. Just say Dion is the greatest, Colorado's the greatest, and you'll be good, okay? You good? Okay.
Comprende.
Okay, good. Okay, because I want you to keep this momentum that you're going. Phil, you have something to say, please.
no, so I was just gonna add to the point that I think sometimes people take things a little too serious, in life in general, but specifically in relationships. I think a lot of times we just try to make stuff more difficult than it needs to be. Like sometimes just a simple conversation can be had, or sometimes just simply being quiet is good enough as well, or being able to admit that you're wrong. So sometimes just those little small things they can add up to be something that's really special in a relationship. So when people talk about their types and what they're looking for, people bringing things to the table, I think a lot of times we focus too much on like the grandioso ideas of what a relationship would look like, and not the like, am I gonna enjoy brushing my teeth beside you in the morning? Am I gonna be okay with you fussing at me about leaving a dish in the sink over the night? Or am I gonna be okay with you smacking while I'm in the car driving and you chewing gum? You know what I'm saying? So little things like that you have to think about in a relationship as well, because those little things add up into what is the relationship, not the, oh, I have a nice ring, we have a nice house, we have a nice car, we got a dog, pick a fence, all that kind of stuff. That don't matter at the end of the day.
I think I don't know if this is a Western thing or not, or an American thing, and whether our stomachs are full or not. But for the most part, I think people want to be right. I think the idea of wanting to be right is what kind of hinders conversation in relationships. What kind of stops us from apologizing? Because we don't like, because the idea of apologizing means that you have to admit guilt, right? So for the sake and the
No,
health of your
no,
relationship, I mean, that's how people think. Like, you don't, it's not something on your frontal lobe, right? And you're not really like consciously thinking about it. But when people apologize, something happened. Let me personalize it so I can feel it, because right now I'm not feeling it. I feel like I'm trying to sound smart. Let me personalize it. Something inside of me, right? Something inside of me fights me apologizing. I don't know what it is. Okay. It's just something that happens. It's like when I want to apologize, I feel like I feel a tug on my heart, right? Because I would do something, I would say something, and the Holy Spirit would tell me, Harry, apologize, even though I feel like I was right. But then there's that thing that just tugs on me like, oh, I'm fighting it. So that's why I'm like, it seems like apologizing almost is like an admission of guilt. That's why people have a hard time apologizing. But they don't understand, like what DC said earlier, that you not apologizing is not hurting them. It's literally hurting you. That's what, like, you're the landlord, and it's going to kill you. So that non-apology or that stuff that you're dealing with, it's to release you. I'm telling you, it's a release of your energy. You got to release that thing. And it's for your relationship. So then I ask this question. What's most important, you being right or your relationship? Most people don't understand the value of their relationship because they want to be right. What is most important to most people? Is it being right or losing your relationship? Phil, you wanted to say something, either a rebuttal or whatever. You said something.
No, I was just gonna say, I think that when it comes to apologies, most times I'll individualize it myself. If I'm apologizing and I know I will apologize even when I know I'm right. But I will apologize for how the person interpreted what I said. I will not apologize for what I said. Because if I said it and I meant it, then I'm gonna stand on it. And I think sometimes
I got a question for you.
Okay, one last point. And I also think sometimes people want an apology because they think it's gonna make them feel better. And then when they get it, they still don't feel better. So I'm okay with somebody not apologizing.
That ain't for you to choose, because the apology ain't for them, it's for you. So the question for you is, do you feel, and please tell me the truth, okay? Tell me the truth, even if it feels bad for you.
Right hand of God.
Do you? Okay, good. That means you're swearing. Don't swear. It's not important.
Okay.
Do you feel that tug on your heart whenever it's time for you, when you feel like you want to apologize? Do you feel that tug on your heart, and does it make you feel some kind of way?
I mean, I feel it at times, but that's not generally how I feel, because I don't do things I don't want to do. So I'm not going to apologize if I don't want to. I will apologize to make somebody feel better because I want to just dead the situation. But if I'm like, nah, I did something I ain't wrong, I'm not going to apologize.
Does anybody sound like, does that sound wrong to anybody's ears? Or is
it sounds wrong to me, but it's the truth.
Wait, you said it sounds wrong to you?
Yeah, I don't think that's a good way to live, but I'm just speaking my truth. You asked me
you're
to
the one saying it.
I know, but Harry, you asked me to be truthful, and I did.
I didn't want you to be the one to admit that you were. What? This is too easy.
I think you have to approach it. I think you have to. Well, go ahead, to you, fan. I said enough. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, there's a term that a lot of people say is happy wife, happy life. I think that's a false narrative. And the reason is because, well, if you ain't happy yourself and you're trying to make your wife happy, you're not going to have a happy life, So the thing is, for me, I learned apology, it takes a lot to apologize. And if you're convicted in your heart to really apologize, you're going to apologize. It's not so easy. That's why you have to become humble enough to say, you know what, I'm wrong. And the reason I'm wrong,
or you can fight it and die later, die slowly, like I usually be doing.
Well, I mean, for you, Harry, you say that you feel something tugging you, right? That's the Holy Spirit tugging you, telling you, hey, you know what, you said something wrong, right? And it's the apology, like you say, it's not for them, it's for us, because of the fact that we're holding the grudge, we're holding it like convicted, like, no, I'm right, but in reality, you just want to get out what you want to say and not let the other person say what they want to say. And it doesn't matter what the situation is. It could be, something as simple as, the the laundromat was left open, and it's always you, and it's always this. But you know what? The reality of it is you have to look at it a different mindset and say that, you know what, I'm apologizing for what I did, and I forgot to put the soap up or whatever the case may be, and that's the reason why you left it up, because you didn't see that that I left the soap out. It could be simple as that. But what I'm saying is as a man, I've learned and to become humble through Christ, because it talks about it in the Bible how we should seek, to forgive our brothers, forgive our sisters, and seek forgiveness, because if you don't forgive, God will not forgive. So
Not
I
Andrew
look at
Tate. If you were Andrew Tate, you ain't forgiven. So I just wanted to use this opportunity. I ain't going to cut you off, but I just wanted to use this opportunity to let you guys know again, a real man conversation is going to be had on Thursday of next week with my college buddy. His name is Jerry J. York. 7 p.m. Eastern time on my Billionaires channel, guys. I'm going to put it on again in this chat so that you can see it. And Billionaires mindset, guys, because this is like, I might have to pull up this video during my conversation with Jay York to reference some of the stuff that we're talking about, because to be a real man, you got to learn how to apologize. To be a real man is about being a leader. And for some people, it's really hard to apologize, because the way that they look at life, they're looking at it through the lens of these so-called internet gurus who talk about what a real man is. You go to the gym 5 days a week. You have a nice car. You got a job. You take care of the woman, so you can do whatever and say whatever you want to say to her. And I'm like,
well, that's the
what?
American concept. The American concept is basically strap your boots up, get going, go to work, make some money, have the wife that you want, and you do you. That's how
And we're supposed to be a Christian nation. That's weird.
but unfortunately that's the American concept. I've seen it everywhere. And at one point in my life, that was what I was thinking, because I wanted what everybody had. And it became that, if it weren't for God in my life, I would have continued that mindset. But I changed my mindset, because the American mindset, the narrative, is a lie. Like, if you really look at it, it's a lie. It's only a propaganda for capitalism. And if you don't have it if you don't have Christ in your heart, you won't recognize it.
But you know something? When you apologize, you have to apologize. Like I will apologize, like say, hey, you did this, and you did it because you didn't care. I'll apologize for what was done, but I will not apologize for what you think how I felt. Because at the end of the day is you get to determine how it made you feel, but you don't get to determine what I was thinking. And then the other thing is sometimes I would say, men, we like to go back and forth because we want to solve it and not really learn to listen to the you will listen to the letter but want to fix it versus the spirit of it. One thing I would say is that if you've got an issue and it's a recurrent issue, and you realize no matter how you, because some of y'all we've all been in them arguments where no matter what you say, it can't, you ain't getting nowhere. Apologize, but then do something. Like this is what I do. I'll go, hey, like if something happened and I was trying to get it, but we can't get it in the heat of anger. And let's say it was something like, let's say, for example, you don't do, let's just make it something as trivial is you let the car get all the way to pass below E before you let me know. You start bookmarking, like let's say at the moment, hey, babe, I'm gonna bookmark this moment with, remember when I fuss at you sometimes about the car? It's like this. You could have told me this. You got in the car and you saw it. You could have just picked up the phone and said, hey, it's on E versus waiting, and then now it's 9 o'clock at night and you got to get gas because you're not gonna make it to work because that's not a safety. Bookmark those moments, and sometimes that will keep you from having to have an intense argument about it. But I think that apologies do work. But I'm kind of like with Phil. But here's the thing: you got to know the difference between sometimes you got to get in there and get it on. Sometimes you got to jump in there WWE and y'all got to wrestle it out, because if you continue to do it, your wife ain't a toddler. We all have toddler tendencies, but she ain't a toddler. So in marriage is there. So you have to say stuff. So I think that, but I'm gonna tell you this. This is part of why folks are in trouble now, because we have this thing that happy wife, happy life, which is so happy wife, happy life is so demonic,
It is.
because
I agree.
because what it creates is a person that no matter what happens, they believe. Like I even when I have like I've ended them conversations here with folks that they say, "What's the man?" I said, "Do y'all realize that you'll say that men ain't S?" But I've not heard one of you say, "You know what? I wasn't S in this relationship." I said that we automatically assume these things, that men are at fault, and never assume that, hey, you might, baby girl, you might be toxic. So the point being is, in all this so much relationship stuff, but I'm gonna tell you right now, Harry, your show is welcome, because most of the stuff that these people out here saying, it will cause you are inviting the devil in your house. And understand this, the devil is gonna come knock at your door. Y'all both have to shut the foot up, shut it. Anyway,
But that's what
But
happens when.
JT, that
That's why I
Can
wanted to
I, can,
have the conversation.
if I can jump in really quick, I got to get ready for a conference call for work. I just want to say,
Yes.
great show. I was looking forward to talking about some football. I actually did enjoy it. Great conversation. I hope everybody has a wonderful Saturday. Hope a wonderful Friday going into Saturday, watching some football. If you're not watching football, that's lame for you. Y'all stay blessed.
Appreciate it, Phil.
cool.
So yeah, man, like B. Slayton said, people need to have this type of conversation with young men. And I think within our culture, within our society, is we're too macho, we're too yeah, it's football. Yeah, I mean, I talk football on here, but listen, people are talking about this conversation, but they're not having a real conversation. I think if you're just gonna take this conversation and just wrap it up in a y'all gossiping type of bubble, then you miss the whole point of the conversation. This is real men. We're all men here. Like when I talk about real men, men of men, we're men here talking and having this type of conversation. You don't often get this. It is not laced with profanity and all kinds of gyration. This is real conversation that men need to have. And I pray and hope that Travis Hunter and his fiance are going to be blessed. They're all going to be okay. They already are okay. But the people that are talking on the internet, they also need to understand that the relationships that we are in also need to be okay. Because I can tell how you are based on how you are responding to the Travis Hunter situation, your mindset. I can almost tell you how your relationships are going by the way that you are responding. Nobody's worried about her. Nobody's concerned about her well-being. Everybody thinks it's just about money. But like DC said earlier, when you're on your deathbed or when you're sick and something's happening to you, your money can't do nothing for you. But the relationship that you have, the people that are around you, those are the people that you're going to be tapping on to come to comfort you. So that's where the real value lies. But because our stomachs are full, because we are in first world society, we're so individual minded. Go get yours. Let me get mine. Stop talking to me like that. I'm a self-made man. We don't think about community relationships. We don't put the value in the things that should have the real value. So we just out there. Get your money prenup. You can always get another girl, but you ain't going to be able to have this money all the time. Blah, 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 blah. That's why I wanted to have this conversation today. And listen, man, this is TLP Sports Club. This is the Liberian perspective. It's a different perspective. Respect it.
Harry, what you need to do is, what really accelerate this or make this conversation boom is also have a woman's perspective, because women also need to say what they need to say.
Listen, I'm surprised that I have to have this conversation. I'm thinking like the women creators that are out there would be the ones that actually would have had her back. but they didn't have her back, so I had to have her back. And I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all supposed to have the girls back. Forget about what I know. We didn't. I asked the question. Nobody touched it. But in our society, American society, one of the biggest holidays in America is Mother's Day. All the restaurants are full. We we can barely get a seat at the restaurant. All the flower shops are sold out. Balloons, gift cards, everything is sold out on Mother's Day. But yet, and only yet, women are looked down upon, disrespected in so many ways, paid less than men in our society. Whenever there's a situation with a man who has money, get rid of her, keep the money. We don't think about those things. I do. It's weird how you love your mother so much, but yet you can disrespect women so much. How is that? That don't make no daggone sense to me. It's counter stupid. It's just counter stupid. That's it. No matter how you bring it around, it's still stupid. Stupid is stupid. You cannot love your mom that much, but telling me that women can't have rights. Huh? You don't love your mom? Anyways, that's a conversation for a whole nother day. Final thoughts, please. We're going to start with Tim. You've been quiet. Let's get out of here, Tim.
Oh, it would be for Tim. Tim, I got your email, man. I sent you respond to it. Just hit me up whenever you can.
Okay, will do. I hit you up today. Um, I'll leave you with this, Harry. A
Yes, sir.
great show, great topic. I'm, 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 I can't wait till Thursday to listen in on the conversation on your other show. Um, I'll just leave you with this: mothers, raise your daughters to be wise. And men, just because your birth certificate say male, doesn't make you a man.
Mm,
And I'm gonna leave it at that.
wow. All right, see you, fan. You got it next.
Well, I'm going to say this, and some people may not agree with me, but if you're not with God, make it so and create a foundation with God, because your foundation with God will be able to build your relationship. Everything that you do, as long as it's with God, your relationship will be good. You may battle sometimes because we don't have the same mind. We have our own mind and we have different opinions on things. But with regardless of whatever battle you go through, you're still going to have that foundation that God will always be there for you. When you stop being on the foundation that you've created with God, that's when your relation starts slipping away because you start thinking of yourself. Because a relationship should be selfishness. Like you should not be selfish. You should be doing for your wife as they do for you.
Mm,
And when you don't do that, when you don't do something that your wife is asking you to do, and she keeps doing nagging or whatever it is, you have now basically told yourself that you don't care, and that is not good in your relationship. So the foundation that God creates is that it creates tools for you. If you read the Bible and you go to church, you listen about certain things, and you go into these relationship programs that the churches provide for you. These tools will help your foundation with God and create a solid foundation with your love of your wife or your significant other.
I mean, I'm man. That's deep. That's strong. That is strong. You guys brought the pain today. DC, man. What else you got to add? I mean, you killed it today. What, do you have anything left in the chamber? How many you
I
got
would
left in the
say this.
clip? Oh
I would
man.
say this that some folks are asking why have this conversation, but understand most athletes are destroyed. Even Prime has talked about this, but a lot of it has to do with as a man, you can generally be destroyed how you spend your time, how you spend your money, and how you spend your heart. What you make those decisions, they have a lot. I would say this is that people will say, well, all these good women are out here. But just because you're a good woman don't make you a good wife. King Solomon had 300 wives and 700 concubines, and yet still asked a virtuous woman who can find one because it's rare, folks. And a lot of
Bro,
times
how
as
did he
men,
keep up? How the heck did he keep up? But go ahead. I'm sorry.
a lot of times we as men spend ourselves with the we don't search for the pearl in the field. And it's not and you have to do that, and once you master your sex drive, there's nothing you can't do, fellas. That's why all this has to do with this, because in sports that generally is what gets men is money. And but also but most of women how their relationships, that's why it's important. I would say as far as men go, men, we have to talk. Men, we have to be upfront. We have to sometimes challenge the things, but I will also say to ladies, because some of us men are out here mentoring, but you can't ask me to mentor men and then you entertain boys. It don't work that way. You cannot allow that. I don't, it as men, especially with daughters, you got to give them game, and you got to tell your young man, seek your purpose. I heard a man tell me this. He said this was not very religious, so read between the lines. He said, chase after your purpose, and P will chase after you. He was right. But at the end of the day, it's not about that. You ask God to bring in your wife. This is a great show. But again, folks that may not understand why we're talking about this is because relationships impact lives. And if you don't have this conversation, my prayer for Travis as I close is that, and Deanna, is that they sit back, have a talk, they learn, it's a learning lesson, and then they move on from it. I personally, if I was them, wouldn't even address the issue no more. I would talk straight about football. Great show, Harry B.
Father God, we thank
Can I
you for
say
your
this?
grace, your mercy. We thank you for everything that you're going to do in Travis's life. We thank you for covering Travis and covering his fiance if they eventually get married or when they eventually get married. Father God, I pray that you will cover their relationship. I pray that you will cover their marriage, cover their children to be, Father God, that they're going to be having. Father God, I thank you for everything that you're going to do in their lives, because we don't just talk about stuff here, Father God. We want to make sure that you are in the midst of it. So we thank you for Travis. We thank you for Liana, whatever her name is. We thank you for his fiance. And we just pray that you would tighten up their relationship, because this here too, I believe, happened for them and not to them, to strengthen their relationship. Lord, we pray this prayer in Jesus' name. I say amen and amen.
Amen.
And
Amen.
guys, don't forget, man, on Thursday at 7 p.m., this latter part of this conversation had a lot to do with men. And we're going to be talking, are there any real men left out there? Real men. I ain't talking about dudes with penises. I'm talking about men.
Hey, can I
Are
say this
there
real quick, Harry?
are there any left? Thursday, 7 p.m. on the Millionaires Mindset. Go ahead, see you, fan.
I just want to say to everybody, uh, your relationships, don't try to seek your advice from people like, what's his name? Is it Ron Tate? Is Tate? I forgot his name.
Yeah,
But
Eh,
Ron Tate. It's
no,
Ron
not
Tate.
Ron
I'm
Tate,
messing
Andrew
with this.
Tate.
the,
I'm messing with
the, don't try to seek a
Andrew Tate.
relationship advice. Andrew Tate. There you go.
Yeah,
Uh,
he said Ron Tate.
I'm sorry.
Ron Tate is
I'm
our
sorry.
friend on this channel.
No. I'm sorry. It's Andrew Tate. I'm sorry. My apologies for whatever it is. That's why I said it. But Andrew Tate, don't try to seek relationship advice from that man. That man has the mindset of me only. He doesn't have the mindset of we as a relationship. He has tried to control the situation instead of working with the situation.
Hey, CU fan, you should pop up on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Billionaires Mindset, because we're gonna be talking heavily on, like, what do they call it? Fresh and Fit. We're gonna talk about them. The late I forget the guy's name, but he passed away, unfortunately. He
You
was
mean
a
Fuller?
he
Never
was a
mind. I'm sorry.
he
Not
was a
Fresh and Fit. Fuller.
You talking about Samuel?
Kevin Samuels.
Kevin
Kevin Samuels.
Samuels, the late Kevin Samuels. We're gonna be talking about them, a little bit about them, and like just talking from a biblical perspective, what a real man is. We're gonna define the terms before we get into the conversation. That happens next Thursday at 7 p.m. So hopefully you guys will show up to that conversation, because yeah, we're gonna have a lot to say, because we always talk about real men and real ninjas. But I feel like that whole term is just being taken out of context, and people don't really understand what a real ninja is or a real man is. So we're going to try our best to define it on Thursday at 7 p.m. on the Billionaires Mindset. But with
That's
that being
next
said,
week?
guys, go ahead.
I was saying that's next week, Thursday.
Next Thursday, yeah. Next Thursday at 7 p.m. on the Billionaires Mindset. I'm going to follow that up with some real women. And I'm going to have some, I'm going to invite a guest to talk about that, because I don't want it to be a sausage party. I want to be able to have conversation on both sides. So, but hey, Travis Hunter, listen, Travis Hunter, if you're out there, my guy, you do you, my guy. All right. We're not gossiping about you. If anybody listened to this conversation and really understood what was happening here, I don't know if you noticed when the Holy Spirit entered the building. I don't know if y'all peeped game when God took over the conversation, because there was a shift in the spirit. I hope you picked it up, and I hope you got something out of it. But I got to go. Until the next time, I'll see you. Get it? See you on the next video, guys. I'm out of here. All right, guys. See you, fan. Thank you for popping up. Tim Smith, thank you for popping up. DC, thank you for popping up.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me, Harry. And to the panel, thanks again.
And for you guys that are in the chat, yes, some of y'all are too funny in the chat, man. Y'all crazy in the chat. I try my best to try to keep a straight face, but y'all are way too funny. Surfer Boy 3000, salute to you. The text is true. You have me dying, bro. Gennaro, you got me dying over here. Y'all crazy in the chat, man. But I thank you for being a part of this conversation as always, guys. Y'all take care. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace out.